There we are. Donncha O'Callaghan, welcome along. Oh, that's the Superman T-shirt with the
Yes,
D.
a
Class.
D. Yeah, to be fair, Dara and Hairy Baby, I get my t-shirts. I find Hairy Baby t-shirts very, very witty. So I started wearing glasses when I was doing 2FM breakfast because I thought my eyesight was going. Little did I know that I was just working the same hours as you, and it's just absolute fatigue. My eyes were just jaded. I didn't need glasses at all, man. So yeah, Darren and Carol then were slagging me over wearing glasses, and I think the slag was that I looked a bit Clark Kent like. I didn't say it; they did, of course.
Of
But to
course,
be
yeah.
fair, Darren in Hairy Baby made me up this Super
Oh,
D T-shirt.
that's pretty cool, to be fair. But I want to go back to that. It's a class T-shirt. Fair play to Harry Baby. for
Hairy
good
Baby,
T-shirts.
give him a
Yeah.
good Irish business, very witty T-shirts as well. Give him a plug.
Absolutely. As long as other good clothing brands that I might or might not be affiliated with, go buy one of those too.
Yeah, you can check us out on 15 Kings.
Hey, but you tell me, so your eyesight was going, but it was the fatigue for tiredness.
That's what I felt it was, genuinely, Tommy, right? I noticed, because that's when your eyesight does start to play up. I'm kind of 46, so it would be completely natural for that
Right.
to kind of, but I noticed, right, I was bringing everything up to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I had the phone, I had it here, and then if I was driving for an awful long time after doing the breakfast show, my eyes would just be stinging. So then I finished up on breakfast, and about 3 weeks later, I was there. My eyeballs don't sting anymore, and I'm able to read all that, no problem at all. It was just like,
I
you know,
can't
the
believe.
grind.
Well, oh yeah, I hear
You're
you.
you're doing it at the moment, yeah. Like you're up there. Like when I was in Dublin, I was up at 3. If I was in Cork, I was up at 5. It just, and say what you want, but when you've family as well, you're not going to bed at. Like I know you're good for the discipline of it, but someone tumbles out of the bed, or
Ah,
you know what I mean.
Jamie's up
Their
last
teddy is a
night.
nightmare.
Oh, can't find his teddy. I mean, honestly.
There you go. There you go. What
And
was the
trying to
one?
get back to sleep, and you look at the clock, it's 1:15, and you're thinking, right, I have an hour and 45 minutes left before the alarm goes here. Oh, man.
That's the worst feeling, isn't it? When you start to count down, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, as opposed to try to get back to sleep, because
Yeah.
you're just never going to do it properly.
I
Yet
hate
again,
that. Yeah.
how does Ian Dempsey do it? Ian
How
Dempsey.
I need to get his number. I need to find out how he does it, because I'm
You
in
leave Ian
awe.
Dempsey alone. Everything that he's doing is perfect and right.
I'm
Don't
in
you get
awe
in
of
his
him.
head.
Honestly,
Yeah.
what an amazing guy. Here, now
Yeah.
that you mention it, I'm going to hold this picture up for people who saw it on Ian Wright's Instagram page. And it's a picture of Ian Wright and Roy Keane going out for food, filming their Overlap podcast. And they're holding the menus up with torches. So, do you mean? So that's you.
Because
Literally,
the
like,
eyesight was going.
the eyesight's going. Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
Just, lads, sleep on a bit more. You'd be grand.
That's it. Stay in the bed, righty. Yeah, actually, 2 of them in the bed would be quite good value. They're great, aren't they?
They're
to
great,
be fair.
yeah. So funny together. To be
Do you know
fair,
what I
they're
love?
great.
I love their friendship as well, because I find it quite unusual. I could understand it if they were in the same team, but it's quite unique that they would have been kind of rivals, wouldn't they?
Big time.
Arsenal and United.
Big
And
time,
that they get
yeah.
on so well. Yeah, it's great.
It's really good. No, I love listening to the two of them. Their clips are brilliant as well. Here, are you growing the hair?
I'm not growing the hair, but I'm at that dangerous point that I've a rule about getting your hair cut in September. Don't do it.
Why?
The back to school haircuts are so in vogue at the moment that all you're going to end up is this value for money. You know what I mean? Moms bringing young fellas in to just get absolutely sheared. I'll end up like, honestly, a reject out of One Direction or something like that. I'll end up at one of those fades. So I'm going to try to grow it out some bit.
I FaceTimed the kids earlier because I'm not at home tonight, and Jamie, I took him. He's got the biggest bowl haircut. Do you know what I mean? It's like
There you go.
it's straight across.
I'm
But
not doing it.
I got warned. You make sure they don't cut much hair off him. So literally, he's just
Do you
got
know
this
what?
straight across hilarious.
I've the true sign of love. Listen to this, right? I think this is the most remarkable thing I've ever done in my life. I went to this place to get Jake's haircut. Now, I'm not going to name the barbers, but they made an absolute dog's dinner of Jake's hair, right? His hair was horrendous, right? And in my head, I was there, okay, there's only one thing to do, like, follow him in. and get the exact same crap haircut. Because if I'd gone back to Jen with him sheared like that and me looking, you know what I mean, normal. So the two of us walked in with two shite haircuts.
You did you? Well
That's
done.
true love, man. That is true love.
Were you going to be getting your hair cut as well?
Yeah, I was going to get my haircut, but the difference was if you'd gone first, right, and I saw you get that haircut, boom, I was out the door gone. But when I saw him getting it, I was there, oh, jeez, oh, no. And like it was a lovely time. He's small and we were in the sun for away for the summer, so his hair went really blonde. Well, they sheared him, man. And like you should have seen him.
No. Oh, and it's a fear because you didn't want Jenny to see, like you were thinking, because this is the same with Lucy. If I come back and it's a bad haircut, I'm gone. Do you mean,
that's it.
Yeah. And their hair is so fine at that age, you know, they're young.
That's it. And what she nailed there is, like, she knew I didn't need to say anything anymore about him getting a bad haircut because I was willing to go through it myself. You know what I mean? It was like basically self-slagging.
Took a
Did
grenade.
you see actually? Yeah. There's a United supporter at the moment. You know they beat West Ham at the weekend. Their first win. Oh no, sorry,
Burnley, was it?
Burnley. Yeah. Look, let's not get in. We can barely do the rugby fixtures.
Who cares?
Let's not get into.
They
the
just won. Well done.
They won.
Lost
United
to
won.
Grimsby.
Yeah, but there's a guy called Frank Ita, right? And he is a United supporter, and he's made himself a promise that he's not going to cut his hair until they win 5 games in a row. Have a look at him here, Tommy. The head on this fella.
He looks like Napoleon Dynamite.
That's exactly the best way to describe him. He's got that Napoleon Dynamite hair going on. So.
Has been waiting all pre-season for them to win a match,
whole time,
win
man.
5 matches as well. They've got Man City next as well in Man City
won't be
to Manchester
cutting that
Derby.
anytime soon.
Could be in a bit of trouble there.
Brilliant.
Best of luck to him. Yeah, we'll get that picture. Jason, legend, you'll find that picture for us as well.
Find that somewhere for us.
Here, tell us about the petrol pumps. Yeah, you're giving out about petrol pumps to me during the week.
There you go, there you go. You've done it again. You're such a Tommy. You're a bollocks man.
No.
Genuinely, this is general
what's your
chat.
issue?
I know
Come
you're
on.
bringing it. We need to have a separator between our lives, the stuff we chat about, and the podcast. So I was bitching about the fact that petrol pumps. I think surely with the advancements we're making and all sorts of technology and AI and all the stuff, the idea of having to check what side of the petrol pump you need to go on is sure. You know the way you have to look at the. You know, I didn't know that before. Jenny tipped me off. There's a little triangle on the side the petrol goes into on your screen. So there's a little petrol pump, and if it's on the left, that means that's where the petrol is, and if it's on the right, that's where the petrol goes.
Hold on the dashboard.
On the dashboard, on your fuel guide, there's a tiny little triangle the either side of it. Keep an eye on it, and that tells you that it's either on the left or the right.
I'm blown away by this. Right, what is
there
it?
you go. You know what I mean? The small things that keep going.
Where's the triangle? Explain this to me again.
On the fuel gauge, down the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know that you'll see a little petrol pump.
Yeah.
Keep an eye. Oh, the eyes are tired, fella. Yeah. You need glasses.
Well, we've Geraldine Herbert,
We'll
the
never
motoring expert, coming into the show soon. I'm definitely going to be putting this to her.
If you're asking her these type of questions, she's going to think you're a mug.
Man, that's amazing. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
But
so basically,
your
the other day I was
issue
going,
is have to go one side or the other.
And then I was in a busy petrol station or garage or whatever we're calling them, and only one was free. And then I had to do the kind of embarrassing one where you kind of bring the pump over and it's kind of straddle over the car. And it's a little bit more of a mess.
You're filling it in upside down. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's barely, and it keeps clicking. Do you know, because it's not in properly.
It keeps clicking. It takes like 6 times the time.
I'm like €6.69. I'm like, click. €7.21. Like, fucking hell.
Why does it always click on that?
A tenner will do me.
Just hand it back with a tenner done. But I was thinking, surely that thing should pivot now, shouldn't it? The petrol pump thing should come out and be able to go around. Like the side of the car shouldn't matter anymore, no?
Because I was thinking about this when you were talking about during the week. I was thinking, would it be better? Because obviously the tank is under the ground, so you should be able to pull it up. But actually, I see what you mean, like a crane coming out by the side. You know, so like... Yeah,
Like an
crane's a good
an
idea.
L arm, you know what I mean? That it goes around the car. You could put it anywhere in the car. And do you know what needs to do that as well? The air for pumping your air in the garage as well.
That wrecks my. I had to go stop off at the garage on the way down the road. Do you know the amount of garages that those things are out of order? Wrecks my head.
But not only that, right? No, they've made it into like quite an entertaining game. You put in €1 and you get like, I think 3 minutes to get it done. And
Yeah.
like, you never allow time for it taking on the caps. And then I always get to this point of, will I put the cap back on now, or will I wait till the ear is finished? And there, oh geez, I'm not going to make the top left one. The panic.
The caps are all off, straight into the pocket, fill it up so that I have enough time to maybe get the vacuum, the Hoover out, to get the thing a bit of it.
What garage do you go? You can get the vacuum and...
there's big time. There's like ones in the apple green as well. You can spray the wheels and perfume things and all sorts.
There you go, look at you.
But then you hop back into the car and you start driving down the motorway again. You feel your pocket, you've got 4 caps. And then one's fallen out and it's down the bottom of the seat, and now you have 3 and you're like trying to go find it.
Where would you ever go to buy them unless you go into training and rob it off one of the lads' sons?
Imagine robbing the caps off them.
Tommy needed one of those. Keep an eye on their caps.
That is
Can we
brilliant.
just make the point, though, that the garage needs to step up a little bit more, doesn't
it
it? Like,
Absolutely.
inside is great now. The coffees and the treats are all great. But you know what I mean? Can the floor step up a little bit?
Do you know what I would like for garages to stop doing? To make it like do you know the way whenever you're going past port control, you have to do the zigzags through the queue?
Yeah.
It's like that to get to the till now, and it's just crowded with sweets and sugar and shite. And see, trying to walk the kids through there. I mean, I actually think it's really irresponsible of petrol stations.
Oh, look at you, grown up, serious Tommy Bowe. That's because you couldn't find a certain bar you were after.
Going through which one would you pick?
Tommy's looking for a Star Bar and he ended up with a picnic and he's filthy in the car.
It's because there's too many bloody selection there. No, it's ridiculous. Too many sweets. They should have healthy food in there. Apples.
They should have
bananas,
healthy food. But just on that
option.
When was the last time you had a Star Bar? You know Star Bars?
I don't eat Star Bars. I don't never. I don't know.
You're in good shape, to be fair. You've never ever had one.
It's not a go-to for me now. What flavour is a Star Bar?
It's kind of, it's wrong for me to even try to describe it. It's like a Morrow. Is that what, are they called Boosts now?
I love a Morrow. I love a Boost.
But instead of the biscuits, they're nuts.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Having a bit of that?
I like a Snickers.
So this happened to me the other week. We were filming Ireland's for this family. I hadn't seen a Star Bar since the 80s, man. I saw a Star Bar and I had one. Oh my God. Blown my mind.
Jason, the producer's just messaged in to say he had a Star Bar yesterday, the best bar in the market. Good man, Jay. He's in Treviso eating a pizza at the moment.
Something is happening with Star Bars. There's far more of them around at the moment. I think there's a bit of a movement behind Star Bars, so get on board.
I like the little mini Snickers now. They come in 2 bits and they've, I don't know, they're extra creamy. They're really good at the minute. And Joe had a Snickers ice cream with the kids the other day. Very good.
Yeah, I'd say that's good. Yeah.
Right, let's move on to other pressing matters. The presidential.
Come on. We're not doing that, surely. Do you know what I mean? For our credibility in chatting about the presidential election.
Jim Gavin's obviously in the run. That's old news at this stage. The Dublin football manager. You've obviously got Monaghan woman, Heather Humphreys is in the run. Catherine Connolly is in as well. We don't know who else, but why is Brian O'Driscoll or Amy Huberman not? Surely they're like they should be in the Rs, should they not? Are they not the presidents of Ireland?
Wow,
they're like royalty, aren't they?
You're thinking of like who could the rugby runner of that be? And like when you have one, why not have 2 and just go for the ultimate duo in Amy and Drico?
Well, I don't know who would you go. Would it be Amy or would it be Drico? But they're kind of like the royal family of Ireland in a way. Then, like maybe this is just in rugby circles, but they're heading off to Wimbledon together, hanging out with the Prince William and all this sort of stuff. Like they'd be good. Yeah. I think there's no real sports people put in to the running for the Rs.
Hold on, Jim Gavin. You don't get a more successful sports person.
Yeah, but he's a manager. He's not a player.
That's harder, Tommy. That makes him
Well, he's
better for
also
the election.
well, he's
Wait,
been in the
wait.
army, and he's like, an all-round good dude. But I'm saying there should be some former sports people in there, and I'm going for Dricko or
Dricko.
Amy.
Yeah, not a
Imagine
bad
the
call. But then
party
where
to
do
go
you
to the
stop? Like,
arse.
you know what I mean? You go Niall Quinn or Ray Houghton, you know,
Niall
when it
Quinn would be
comes
a
to
good one
sports.
as well.
Sean
Roy
Kelly, man.
Keane.
Keno. Oh, actually, speaking of Hairy Baby, they've made up a T-shirt of Keno for
As
election.
president.
Yeah,
Have they?
yeah. I actually saw it. I was there. I fancy one of those buttes.
Give
Give him do a
so
bad
you're not
job.
liking it. Who do you think would be?
No, but
who could be presidential material?
well, you're gonna say take my head out of his ass, but I think the most inspirational
Razzie
person
Erasmus.
I know. No, Razzie. But yeah, you've mentioned in good company with Dricko and Paulie, man. Paulie could do, for me, I think O'Connell could do whatever he set his mind to.
He probably
And
could,
I
to be
think
fair.
he could, couldn't he? You can imagine
think-
him being good at that.
And he's very good. He does the Bernardo thing. He kind of goes on the
Yeah.
late, speaks really well about that. Do you know the problem with Paulie and even someone like Jim Gavin?
At one point, they're going to want to fight.
Well, I don't know about Jim.
President, who's on here? Here's this minister. 2 seconds later, they're on the floor. Jeez, why do we go with Paulie?
But like, can you imagine how frustrated Paulie would be when he can't get stuff done? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
imagine
that's true.
as president, you're there, like, and you're see the problems and things that are going on in the country. Like, Paulie be the man who'd want to go and fix it. And imagine,
Yeah, that's true.
being told, no, actually, Paul, you can't get involved in that. That's
Yeah,
not
that's true.
what the president does.
Yeah. But to be fair,
Do you
look,
see
I
the
know
fear of
some,
God.
I know some people have different views, but that's what I've loved about Michael D. I love that he's lent his voice to things that he feels passionate about. I know people will say that's not the role of the president, but I like the fact that our president has been unbelievably compassionate, unbelievably kind, and just, I think he gives a good steer of the nation. It's going to be hard boots to fill, isn't it?
Well, to be fair, like, we're very blessed with, like, if you think Mary Robinson, Mary McAleese and Michael D, like, there's pretty high esteem there. So anyway,
do you know what I'd love? And I think
Amy
it's
and Dricko,
important for you, because you're in the mix of it.
Yeah.
I've just found maybe the last 2 presidential elections that I can remember, they've ended up in a bit of a shit fight. You know what I mean? Where it ends up being slagging matches. And I'd love if there was just a good narrative from everyone to just, let's find the right person without turning this into a shit show. I can't find better words.
No, I hear you totally. Because listen, it's been 7 years since obviously the last election when Michael D was in there. But this is just, I forgot actually, I didn't mention Gareth Sheridan is another potential.
And Billy Kelleher, typical for getting the Cork lads.
But I don't get, why does it have to become a bloodbath? Like, I don't get this. Why is it ripped into parts? Find like the shreds of everything bad they've done in their life or whatever else, where actually who's the best ambassador for the country? I don't get it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, look, the onus is on us all to seek that, but also like the media to kind of portray it really well. Let's not go low with something like that. It's too important. And like, it's been done too well to this point to undermine it.
And particularly if with Sinn Féin, particularly with social media.
There you go, Tommy.
I was just thinking Sinn Féin.
This is why we aren't chatting about fucking elections.
This is what I'm like in the mornings.
Especially
this is the
there you go.
tiredness. But
Mary
no,
Lou,
social
take him
media.
on. There's the runner for Sinn Féin, Tommy Bowe. Hold him on.
She knows better than that. But social
the
media,
flyer.
it's so toxic nowadays. Do you know what I mean? Like this, and it's going to get nasty, and social media is going to have a big part to do with it as well. And I just think it's brutal. Anyway, right, let's move on to more.
Let's stay in our lane.
Yeah, okay. Rugby. Right, this weekend. What are you thinking? Let's talk rugby championship first of all. Took a week off there last weekend. New Zealand against South Africa in Eden Park. It's going to be a classic. And then Australia, Argentina played in Kerwin. So it's the Queensland National Stadium or something. It's a 25,000-seater stadium, which isn't very big. And played like way north of Brisbane in Kerwin, just below Cairns, which is quite an odd place to have it. But
Yeah,
fair play.
agreed. I suppose I can't speak out of both sides of my mouth when I'm looking for us to get out around the country a bit more, use Crow Park a little bit more, and then when the
Yeah.
Aussies are doing it, like that's how you do kind of grow the game. I know what you're saying, there might only be 25,000 people, but there are people that mightn't get to see the game as much and might start to love it ever since.
Yeah, agree. And they've had the Lions tour there for the last, so they've done the Brisbane, the Melbourne, the Sydney. So I suppose it's a case of getting out to somewhere different. So yeah, good luck to them. And to be fair, it's going to be really interesting if Australia can keep going, because they did beat South Africa once. They probably could have beaten them twice.
Yeah, agreed. I personally, I do think these down weeks are important. I know we're losing one in next year's Six Nations. I'm not a massive fan about that. I just think when you come to the top end players, the difference, honestly, 3 days can make to recovery. And just someone, especially for Australia, I feel more so than anyone. I think they're probably the limited amount of kind of squad depth, and yet I think Joe will grow it, and then Les will do it another little bit more. But right at this present moment, we saw it against South Africa when they had to make do with that back line when they lost the likes of Skelton. It really, really hurts them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the down week will suit them, but they're in a great position. That championship is interesting now. Everyone's got to win, you know?
It is. It's getting really hot. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see even the New Zealand South Africa game. They're going to be crackers. Jeez, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, there will be. Call that one, could you?
I saw somebody on a radio show over in New Zealand when they lost to Argentina, and he was. Did you see that clip? Jeez, he wasn't happy, was he? But like, this is the expectation on New Zealand, and to be fair to Argentina, put it right up to them in the first test, and then to win the second test. Like New Zealand, they aren't maybe the force that we're used to seeing in years gone by, and South Africa coming to town. Like if South Africa were to get a scalp against them there, Jesus, real panic button's been hit.
Yeah, it's on. It certainly is. It's amazing, though. We were chatting about that in the dressing room on Tuesday. Just remember the Australian game where we got to experience when we won in Eden Park in 2011.
11, yeah.
We genuinely got a week of feeling what it feels like to be in the AB, didn't we? People loved us around the place.
Honestly, beating Australia at 1 and then doing it in Eden Park. I mean, like literally walking around Auckland, shoulders up, like you're just.
We were like the Beatles.
It's
We were like
class.
Roy Keane around Cork.
No, that was so good. And to be fair, I love that. Like that was some trip, that New Zealand World Cup. To be fair, jeez,
Yeah,
we discussed. We got through a right few stories on that on the dressing room earlier this week. Good times.
Yeah, very true. If you'd like to listen back, it's there. If you'd like to join up, we'd really appreciate it.
Big
Shameless
time.
plug, Tommy, but we've done everything else from Star Bars to Apple Green, so why not plug our own podcast for crying out loud?
To Hairy Babies, to 15 Kings, the whole lot. We'll take it all.
There you go.
If
The
you
only
want to
show
plug,
that does,
just get
the
in
only
touch
show
with
that's
us.
the only show that isn't sponsored, that mentions nothing but sponsorship.
Listen, we have to finish off. Big weekend, obviously, for the women. Ireland against New Zealand, down in Brighton, ahead of. We're qualified for the quarterfinal now, but this is to decide who finishes top of the pool. I mean, it's amazing. Ireland scored 13 tries already in the 2 matches. I think New Zealand have scored maybe 16 or 18. So 2 fairly evenly matched. Ireland beating New Zealand earlier on in the season back in November. It's like, what way do you see this game going?
Ooh, I have a different kind of a view, but I think it might be a little bit controversial, and I'm nervous even voicing it so that people might think, 1, I'm weak, or 2, that I'm, you know what I mean, kind of causing hassle for the girls. So I
Tell us.
I don't think we should get caught up in this match as much as we should in the next game, the quarterfinal. I think all our prep should go into the quarterfinal. We've beaten New Zealand. The girls were the first Irish team ever to beat New Zealand. They've shown the way in how to do that. They've also shown the way when they beat them, you know what I mean, the last time as well. But when it comes to World Cups, we've never gone beyond the quarterfinal. And the way it's looking now, that if we were to lose to New Zealand, we would play France. Like that's a game that we're going to need everything in. You know what I mean? At the point of chatting here, we don't know the teams yet. So I just think like I know everyone's saying, "Oh, you got to respect the fixture." Everyone that puts on an Irish jersey will absolutely go out and give it everything in that moment. But I do think you need to protect a few players from themselves by
Oh,
even
really?
just. Oh,
Rest a few
yeah,
players.
it's my own personal view. I think the quarter final, they'd like to be the first Irish team in a Rugby World Cup to go to a semi final. I would love that to be
Yeah.
something for our sisters. I honestly do. But of course, I understand that you have to respect the fixture. But I think everyone that goes certainly would. I was looking at the squad, Tommy. 5 players haven't been capped, and we chatted in the dressing room about that World Cup in 2007. And one of our biggest problem was buy-in from everyone, just
Mm-hmm.
simply because they didn't get any game time.
Yeah.
And that's really frustrating. If you've been brought all the way over there and you get no time, you
Yeah.
get incredibly frustrated. So I wonder, is there a chance to give everyone, make them feel really much of a part of it in the biggest game against one of the greatest teams?
Do you know one of the things that with the men in Rugby World Cups, we always have one big game. Like you think
Yeah,
about that match against Australia
that's our problem.
2011, we've
We
won
only
that
have one.
play against France, like that game against Scotland, just because it meant so much in 2019. Then, of course, beating South Africa in the pool in 2023, and then we fall apart. So maybe what you're saying is don't bring out that big game and try and beat New Zealand, keep it for the quarter final. But I have to say, right, we had Fiona Hayes on the show this week,
Ah,
and
Fiona's
Fiona,
great.
legend, yeah,
Yeah.
she was saying that so if Ireland were to beat New Zealand, they'll more than likely play against South Africa in the quarterfinal, where if they lose New Zealand, they play against France in the
Mm.
quarterfinal. She was saying the biggest shock of last weekend was South Africa beating Italy. That actually South Africa are not very strong in the women's game, and that Ireland would have a really, really good opportunity to beat South Africa, where against
Yeah, well, you
France it's
saw
going to be
those
tricky.
scenes in South Africa after that game where they were going crazy, just
Yeah.
delighted, which was brilliant to see. Yeah, I think this is what's happened as well, though. There's a massive readjust because I think we've perceptions about the men's game, like Canada. You remember, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
like how good they are,
Oh, they're
and people.
class. Honestly,
Yeah,
they play
yeah,
such good rugby as well.
yeah. So it's kind of getting the balance in that, but you just purely. I just think it's very hard to kind of go week on week on top line message and going to I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about emotionally to
Yeah.
bring it up and bring it up. I wonder, how do
That's
you
what a World
contain
Cup
this?
is, Dunners. And like they made
Yeah,
loads of changes for that Spanish match.
yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, yeah. I just, Tommy, in the end, you know what I mean? Like, we're in a quarter final. All people will remember is how this team did in a quarter final. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying in any way, like, because it would never ever happen, especially with our girls.
No.
Like, they will always go out on their shields. They 100% will. But I just think that you could use the whole squad. I like, yeah, I just look there at Bet Butler, who hasn't even been capped yet. You know what I mean? But what if we need Bet when it goes deep into the competition and she
Yeah.
hasn't got a run? I don't, like, I remember that World Cup. I remember Brian Carney and Frankie Sheen just feeling so out of it in
Yeah.
ways, and they want to buy in, but when you're limited with game time, look, I know that's not the way we should say it. We should always look to go out and bring our best against New Zealand, but for me, I would prioritise the quarterfinal. I would really, I'd hone in on that and I'd work back from it.
Well, listen, we've never done it right in the past. Maybe,
Yeah.
like, I can't see them doing it, but at the same time, I hear what you're saying. Like, we've got to think a different way of approaching this. But listen, New Zealand will be wanting to go out there and make amends for
Well,
losing
we
to the
we did beat
women's.
them before.
Well, exactly. This is it. They'd be sick. They were sickened with that performance. So
Yeah.
they'd be wanting to try and right that wrong this weekend. Listen, all the very best. Like I think
Oh, we will be
there's going to be
shouting
some
and roaring.
class matches this weekend as well in the women's World Cup. So this is where a World Cup really starts to get juicy, isn't it? You know, the last
Yeah,
weekend
these,
the pool matches into quarterfinal, semi-final, where the opening matches there's just a lot of big scores, a lot of teams that are struggling out there. You know.
yeah, yeah. And look, we have to Linda Jugang, who we spoke to earlier, in the build up to the World Cup, getting her 50th cap.
Yeah.
Incredible. So proud of her. She's an incredible person. We loved actually having the chats with her, but also she was quite modest when we were chatting. Like, No one knows the amount of graft she went to. I remember chatting to her before. She was nursing. She'd have to get 3 buses to training to make sure she was on time for
No
training
way.
and stuff like that. Just the
Wow.
commitment to be where she is. What a superstar. So really proud for her.
Congratulations, her. Did you see the video of it? Like they had the big 50 balloons and stuff. The day before the match. Can you imagine Paulie doing a speech?
Could you
and
imagine
coming in
Johnny
with a-
Johnny walking in with the guess who's 50?
It's Tommy's 50th cap here. Quick, get in. We've got a birthday. We've got a cake for him. I mean,
You'd actually think you're being wound up, wouldn't you? You'd be like,
those
what's going on
girls
here?
have it right. Honestly,
Yeah,
they're
they
like
do.
Sam
Yeah.
Bonnan giving a lovely speech and all, and they're all there getting
Beautiful.
selfies and pictures in great form. Like
Yeah.
for the lads, it's like hell the day before.
Yes.
You know, head down, keep the camera out of my face. They're crying.
I remember I had a birthday in camp one time and nobody said happy birthday. I was on the phone, and I was quite glad at that. I didn't want any, because I know what's happened. Remember before he used to strip them and spray them.
That's what they did to me. It was my birthday once, and it was the end of the meeting and our end of the huddle, the train, and everybody a circle. And the lads came up behind me, grabbed my arms, whipped the trousers or shorts off me. And I
Yeah.
think I had the leggings on, shorts,
course.
leggings, the whole lot down around the ankles, strapped my knees together with the physio tape, and then sprayed my arse with the sticky spray.
Do you know what I mean? I remember, honestly, going back to the hotel, back into my room, my phone rang. It was my mom saying, happy birthday. I've been trying to ring you all day. I was like, geez, I nearly even forgot about it at that point. But then,
know.
honestly, then there was great people like Ruth Wood Martin who would make a massive effort, make sure she'd cake for all of us as it evolved and moved
Yeah.
on a little bit. Isn't
Thanks, Ruth, for your carrot and walnut cake. Jeez, any chance of something tasty?
Do you remember I think she got a really bad with Mike Ross one time. It was made out of, instead of chocolate, it was made out of, what do they call it? Eggplant or aubergine or what's that?
Aubergine.
Aubergine. It was made out of that. And like she was trying to convince everyone it tastes exactly like chocolate. We were like,
jeez.
we're all right, Ruth.
I mean, you can't
We
see the
brought
women
it.
having that. Like, they're all having proper cake, candles, balloons, the whole lot.
Amazing,
Class.
amazing.
Fair play. So
Good on
best of luck this weekend. I just want to
We
touch
will
on
be
as
shouting
well
everyone.
the super or the French league top 14's back
Yes,
already.
it's back. Whoa, amazing, isn't it?
No hanging around for those boys, is there?
I remember chatting to James Collin before, and a few lads, Sean Dougal, even Raj, and like the emphasis isn't on the kind of pre-season like it is. Well, sorry, it's mainly on getting rugby fit, so fit to play. So they actually find playing more games.
Straight into
Like,
matches.
you might as well be fit for purpose, as opposed to, as we spoke about in the dressing room, us being brilliant in the gym and brutal on the pitch.
But it's the 6th of September. I suppose they probably played up until July time. But if you think like the URC, Ulster, I think we're out around the early stages of June. And they're not going to
Yeah.
be playing till the end of September. Like, it's some break where these French players, like, remember Blair Kinghorn and stuff, he was late coming out to the Lions. And then they're starting again. So, I mean, geez, it's a fair slog for those boys. They play a lot of rugby, don't they?
Yeah, it's grueling. It really is. And to be fair, they put themselves through the ringer in terms of, like we've chatted text teammates and friends that have been out there. You get on the pitch is the mentality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But I mean, the likes of Toulouse and stuff, I suppose they do have huge squads, but it's kind of lesser teams over there. You kind of think you have to front up so much and play so much rugby. Wild.
here, have you it open there? What games are on? Who's Raj playing? Tell us that.
Okay, so Bordeaux is playing against Raj.
Okay.
La Rogel.
Yeah. Against Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. Joey Carberry is
Yes.
so Bordeaux are at home against La Rochelle, Clermont against Toulouse, Montpellier, Toulon, Lyon Racing, Castres, Pau, Perpignan, Bayonne, and Stade Francais at Montauban.
Okay. Not a bad opening weekend.
Not
is
a
it?
bad opening weekend. Listen, looking forward to that. Looking forward. Jesus, it's great rugby then. So that's back. The Women's Rugby World Cup. I love the crowds there, by the way. Like
Yeah.
even that Ireland-Spain match, hell of a crowd
Yeah,
there
it's
for
great.
it. It's just amazing to see for the women's game.
Did you see the Samoan coach speaking after the match at all? It's kind of gone a bit viral. He just got a little bit emotional about how proud they took a big defeat against
92-3,
England.
yeah,
The
brutal,
cheer, man, when they scored their 3 points. You don't mean to be condescending in any way, but it was beautiful to hear him speak afterwards, because all he wants for his girls is to play more games.
right.
And he was saying the sad thing is that since they last talked out, they've only got to play 5 games. They're mad to play more, and this
Are you
is
serious?
yeah, it's probably shining a torch on some of it, that you hear the likes of Samoa saying, "Can we play more? We want more time for our girls to get out there and represent." And I thought his interview was quite incredible. Plus the fact, I think something like within their team they have like 6 mothers, like, you know what I mean. One of them,
Wow.
mother of 4, like, and there she is playing international rugby. Just
I know.
absolutely incredible. The stories are remarkable.
Class.
They really are. Yeah.
I've actually, I was looking at that, some of the stories that some of the girls have gone through to get themselves to play for that World Cup is amazing. I was reading the paper the other day. It's phenomenal. But to lose, it's like 92-3. Even, did you see New Zealand against Japan? Japan scored a try at the very start, and they were like,
I know.
we
were watching.
We're going to beat New Zealand.
Because I was a bit disappointed, because the coverage got to the New Zealand-Japan game late, so you missed the haka. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm going to be a little bit negative, but I need to say it, because, yeah, you're loving it. The reffing, just the refereeing standards and the amount of interventions from TMOs. Again, I'm there like, oh, geez, we're trying to elevate this, and here we are. Like that game, that Irish match took over nearly 2 hours. You know, you just have to, you have to be conscious of the clock. And then when it swaps over to the game and you've missed one of the showpiece things, like everyone, it's one of the only times the Aviva's hopping before the match when the hack is on, you know. So it just to miss that was disappointing.
And for young kids and young girls in particular to see the girls doing the haka would be amazing. Yeah, no, it was a big loss. Yeah, bad. But listen, it's something we give out about all the time. TMOs.
Yeah, 100%.
Fucking replays.
Get rid of the TMO.
There
you
you go.
Me a hairy baby t-shirt saying that. Oh, TMOs.
Keno for president.
Keno for president.
Right, here we go. We're keeping it short at the minute. All the best to the women this weekend. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in again. And we will see you next week for what is going to be the quarter-final. Who are Ireland going to be playing? Look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on you, Tommy. Come on, the girls.
Go on, the girls. Chat to you later, Dunners.